Welcome back, everybody, to the Quake Pro League, Stage 2, Week 11. I'm 40 Lions, joined by the one and only Flea. We just had quite the banger of the first series of the day, but now we're going to get into Maxter versus Effortless. And Effortless, he's close. He's not on the chopping block, but he's close, Flea.
I mean, if we look at the bottom of the scoreboards, you can see that the difference in points is quite a bit larger in EU than it is over at the NA side, right? There's like 4 players on AA that are within 200 points or dollars rather from one another. So there's still a lot of room for players to move around. And as you say, Effortless for now, it's looking like he's going to avoid the relegation matches. Last time he did have to play it, and then he beat Supreme GTI to keep his spot in the league. This time he's looking a whole lot better, but he still has a few difficult matches ahead of him, so nothing is set in stone yet.
Sure, and before Maxter roasts you, I'll just say it's the Americas, Flea. We can't call it
Okay.
NA. Nosfa and Maxter roasted me relentlessly as I deserved it, so the Americas, Maxter. Calm down.
Americas.
I don't want to enrage him before. I don't want him to take it out on Effortless. I just want this to be a clean, fair fight. All right, I just got to put that out there. But yeah, Maxter coming off a big map win against Rafa last week, almost taking that series. Again, say what you want about it. Map number 3, the overstack, that may have did him in, but a phenomenal showing from Maxter going into this week. Let's get into the picks and bans and kind of see what we're in store for with Maxter versus Effortless, as we have Exile right off the bat into Corrupted Keep and Awoken. Love that map set. We got Ranger versus Sorlag, we got Strog versus Keel, and then BJ versus Doom. Flea, what do you think?
Exile, always a great map to watch. A lot of stage hazards. Ranger versus Sorlag. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. I like Maxter banning Galena straight away. He's got PTSD after playing Rafa's Totems last week. So understandable that he wants to get rid of those straight off the bat. And we've got Corrupted Keep. Strog versus Keel. No major surprises there. Keel has really been picked a whole lot as of late. And Strog, very powerful pick on Corrupted Key because there's no railgun, so that Peeker can really help you out a ton. And then the final map, Awoken, Effortless will be running the Doomslayer. Great pick for the mobility around the center area of the map. And then Maxter is running the BJ, so he's got that damage boost working in his favor.
So, predictions. I'm going to just yank it out of you immediately, Flea. What do you think based on that?
I mean, based on this, I think that, like, we saw Maxter last week almost beating Rafa. I think he's looking in extremely good shape. Effortless has been playing well too. But if I'm looking at the picks and bans, I'm loving that Strog. I'm also liking the Ranger on Exile. I would favor Doomslayer on Awoken, but other than that, I think that Maxter might be able to edge out a 2-1 here.
I think I'll agree with you. I think Maxter, he just has that ability to get in your face, make some plays that are maybe questionable, maybe a lot of why are you there kind of situations, but he makes it work. If he can hit his shots, I feel like this will go Maxter 2-1, but Effortless, he's no slouch. He knows how to stand his ground, and he's pretty good at this game, so he might be able to take it 2-1, but I would be surprised if it went 3-0 either way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I also like that Effortless ended up banning the Anarchy. We've seen how Maxter can move around the map on most of these champions. It is always a beautiful sight to behold. So much flair when this man is jumping around. So that's definitely a smart ban on Effortless end. And on that note, we are loading into our very first map of this series. We've got Effortless, we've got Maxter, and we're kicking it off on Maxter's point of view.
Kicking it off on Maxter, and he's kicking it off on the heavy, and you can't help but think, is Effortless dressed as the Quaker Oats guy yet again? It worked for him. I mean, if you're going to win, you might as well just keep dressing up, but he's going to jump into some LG. There's the spin to try and get him out of danger zone, but the Dire Warp will not go as far as Maxter wanted. He wanted to chase that, end it, and he still can with the shotgun, and he will, but on his way out, Effortless does hit a clutch rail.
Maxter's got to be careful. 30 points of health to work with. And Effortless off the spawn with that heavy machine gun can shred through that in mere seconds. So Maxter, wise decision not to contest for heavy, but just hold position towards the Mega and the small armor.
Maxter's just waiting on this high level here. Good rocket here as Effortless just wanted to peek, almost threads the needle on that rail as well. Effortless in a bad position, does have the spit to try and get himself out. A little bit of a moonwalk rocket there to land some damage, but Maxter is just going to take his time, re-up on rockets, and now it's just a matter of Where do you want to go, Maxter? There's the Dire Orb to get the Mega. Effortless knows, and he wants to make a dash to the Heavy, and he does. He's going to take some damage, though. There's the spit through the doorway to try and make sure Maxter doesn't push, but he does with the rocket out, and Effortless punishes, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Maxter goes for these plays that are sometimes a little crazy, and Effortless is able to punish, tying it at 1.
That one rail that Effortless missed, or that Maxter missed on Effortless, really cost him. It was a really good setup, really good play, baiting his opponent to go towards the Mega and then rush back towards the Heavy as well, but he missed a vital shot that he needed to land. We did, for a moment there, see Effortless getting back into his Napoleon Fragaparte spirit, rocking indeed the outfit. So far hasn't helped him that much, but we're still in the early stages of this matchup.
We'll see if he could take command of this battle here as Maxter grabbing that 50 shard. Has a pretty good stack, has the Dire Orb as well, but that rail, absolutely brutal from Effortless there. Already outstacked him, but that rail's going to help. Good return rail from Maxter, and he avoided damage, which is huge. Bullying him off the Heavy, but here comes Effortless into the Dire Orb. The rail into Dire Orb combo, just so strong. Rocket almost connects with the rail off the spawn, but Maxter does have the Heavy behind him. Effortless will claim the Mega. Doesn't really have a lot of weaponry to work with here. Machine gun and spit. As Maxter could take advantage of that, going through the telly, trying to catch him off, denying this 50 shard. Trying to make sure that Effortless doesn't get the weaponry he needs. Does have nail and shotgun now, but spit is down.
Really solid plays from Effortless right there, knowing that he is completely outgunned, his arsenal basically empty, but just through clever positional play and using that nail gun, he allowed himself a lot of breathing room, but that might transpire now as Maxter, 5 points of health remaining after the LG, the shaft battle, goes in favor of the player from South America. Gotta be inclusive for you, indeed. Gotta keep track of that.
I'm just saying, the boys are gonna roast you. I'm trying to protect you, Flea. I'm always looking out for you. It was a fantastic rail from Maxter. Unfortunately, Effortless will miss with his, as the Tri-Bolt making sure that Effortless is very wary going through that doorway. Misses with another rail. And these are gonna add up, Flea. I think Maxter might push in on this for free here. There's a Dire Orb in the rocket and gets the frag easily.
This might be a crucial tipping point. Maxter now actually securing both of the major items, so full control. The Mega and the Heavy. If he can win this LG battle, or rather shotgun on LG battle, he is looking solid. Mega's about to spawn. Effortless wants to rush this. He knows his opponent is hurting, but it will be in vain. The click though, that's helping Effortless out a lot. Doesn't stick around for the frag, and instead will prioritize the Heavy. So he just wants to deny resources right now, get himself back in fighting shape, and maybe make a move on Mega as soon as possible too.
Yeah, and Maxter staying alive was huge. He's going to be able to re-up on rockets, get a decent stack going. Almost even here is a little bit of a tickle. Almost hits the rail, but Effortless should be able to get this. But the Dire Orb play almost works. Almost. Zips right past Effortless to steal away that Mega.
That would have been an absolute beauty if he had made it all the way to the item. But look at these rockets.
Wow.
That was pretty long distance too, and so many of them connecting beautifully that Effortless, no chance in that engagement, drops yet another frag, and now Maxter looking so solid as we're approaching the halfway mark.
Effortless doing good damage with that machine gun, now pushing in with LG. The rockets won't land as the Mega is taken by Maxter. Avoids some more damage as he grabs the 50 as well. Effortless does have him trapped where he just can't land the damage. There's the push with the LG he wanted, and he's able to get that frag. Captain Crunch back on the board, 7-3 right now. As Maxter does spawn and grab the 50 shard, Heavy will go to Effortless, and he's got to try and make this momentum, something happen with this momentum. He does have the spit, the rails exchange from the players here as Effortless jumping over, giving Maxter an opportunity. There's the Dire Orb. Wisely sidesteps that one, gets the frag, but he is very weak, Flea.
Extremely aggressive push from Effortless right there, just dropping on his opponent. And we're seeing a lot of that. Maxter very often, just like he's kind of taken by surprise when Effortless just barrels into him. You mentioned it yourself, Fordy. Usually it's Maxter who goes for these engagements, but it feels like Effortless is just looking to match that spirit and just constantly apply pressure. Mega will be the next item to spawn. That's a crucial rail. Effortless will now not be able to contest for the item, has to give it up. Goes for one final rocket, but he knows he's got no business sticking around. Might even have to give up the heavy as well. He's no longer railable, but he knows that taking one bad shot will absolutely cripple him, so he's giving full control right back to Maxter.
Maxter's just, again, the Dire Orb. Not afraid to just push in against the Sorlag, spit or not. Spit be damned, Flea, is what Maxter says, as we're 6:30 in this one. Maxter up 4. Effortless trying to get a foothold, a claw hold, if you will, with Sorlag on Exile right now, trying to make something happen. Does have rockets, and LG is going to grab the 50 shard. Spit's not going to be up for another 14 seconds here, as the next item's going to be heavy, and Effortless might not be able to contest for this, as he's going to grab Rail and the 50 shard to make sure that stack is pretty decent.
Taking
Rail's
a quick look at the
exchanged.
items, it's definitely Maxter who's securing most of the items, majors in particular, but they're tied for small armors as well, and he's doing most of the damage. Effortless struggling on all fronts, it seems, as Maxter lines up yet another beautiful rail. I think the rail has just been instrumental for Maxter. He's landing so many important shots at just the right time, and in doing so is denying Effortless the freedom he needs to actually make a move on some of these items, and he's getting completely zoned off the map in some of these instances, but Red Rocket is going to help him out a bit, especially since Maxter backtracks into the spit. That damage is going to start adding up. Where he's going to find the bubble? Right there, but that's still around 50 points of damage that he lost.
Yeah, that lost him the Mega. He could have contested before all of that, but Mega goes to Effortless. Can he turn this into a heavy? He could turn it into a frag. What a rocket from Effortless there. Oh, beautiful rail through the grate. Maxter's so weak. Effortless should be able to push in, hit him with some buckshot, securing this frag, but it's going to deny the 50 and let Maxter live. Keep him weak. Why not? Deny all the resources on the map first. He has the spit still as well, and Maxter's just in a really bad way right now.
He has to clean it up, though, and he should do so now. We saw it earlier, 40. Effortless leaving Maxter alive with just 4 points of health, and then Maxter somehow gets the resources he needs, steals a Mega, and is right back into it. So Effortless, especially this late in the game, cannot afford to just leave his opponent alive. The pressure needs to be constant, it needs to be sublime, and that rocket will make it a 1 frag difference.
Effortless doing a good job keeping this close, has plenty of time, doesn't need to make any crazy plays because of that frag. Drops down, Maxter wants to make the crazy play, shotgun on shotgun, and Maxter will go down 8-8. Effortless has tied this one up.
Loving the patience on that shotgun right there. He waited for that final shot until he knew he could get the most damage out of it. Didn't want to pre-fire. Oh, now both players solo, Effortless railable. Here comes Maxter, and he dies! Somehow, even after picking up the Mega.
The spit and the rocket just too strong. Effortless, frag lead, needs to be careful. He wants this heavy so bad to try and ensure this victory here in the shotgun frag, and that might do it, Flea. 30 seconds, 2 frags, but he is extremely weak. Maxter needs to go hyper-aggressive right now, as Effortless has the Sorlag, has the mobility, and will soon have the spit to play defensively here, and we're just going to see a holding pattern from the Quaker Oats guy. Here's Maxter trying to push in, but the LG just says no. It's like back in the schoolyard when you're just windmilling towards your opponent, and they're putting their hand on your forehead, Flea.
Effortless looking powerful, as he will secure the first map in this series. Maxter still gets a consolation frag with the orb at the end. But those were some impressive plays by Effortless, especially towards the end. Those 2 crucial decisions where he was just like, I'm making my stand right here, right now, right? First, that rocket with the spit combined, even after his opponent picked up Mega and he was really low, got him the frag, and then he just held his own on the heavy as well. And at that point, 2 frags of a lead made it so that Maxter had to just force himself onto his opponent and run into a brick wall. So very well played from Effortless, especially that last minute or so.
Absolutely agree, and I think just the overall play of keeping his composure, staying in the game even though he's behind, and knowing that he had plenty of time. Big victory for Effortless there, taking map number 1 in the series. And I mean, Maxter, again, he didn't necessarily play anything wrong. That hyper-aggressive style, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's high risk, high reward. This time, Effortless was able to kind of stomp out the fires of Maxter, but we'll see in map number 2 if we're going to see more of the same or if Maxter's going to try and take a different approach. But that was a fantastic first map between these two.
Indeed, I can't help but feel for the outfit might have had something to do with it. Effortless, ever since he has embraced that inner Napoleon of his, the man has been playing out of his mind in some of these engagements. And I think Maxter, I mean, he's looking handsome as always in that Black Hawks clan sweater. But just look at the fashion, the raw style that Effortless is bringing to the table today. It's unmatched right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I said, you know, you win with that. You kind of have this sports mentality of superstition. You want to wear that all the time from now on. I feel like we're going to see that every week until Effortless might lose or might drop one. But yeah, it's coming up big for him now, so I don't see him stopping.
Map 2. Corrupted Keep, Strog versus Keel. Keel has been a top-tier pick on many a map. Corrupted Keep is one where he works very nicely too. There's no railgun, and that is a powerful weapon against a champion with a hitbox of that size. But on the other hand, no railgun also means that peeker that Maxter will no doubt be using a lot can be extremely powerful. So I think a lot is going to come down to that. If Maxter can make good use of that active ability, the sliding that he's got, the speed, absolutely unrivaled while playing Keel, could really help him come out on top this time.
Definitely. The timing of the peeker is going to be huge. If you can catch your opponent with the wrong weapon out, I mean, the best way to deal with the peeker, obviously rail, if not shotgun. But if you catch them with an LG or a rocket out around a corner, they can't hit you. You get some free peeker damage, and then you fly that kamikaze. That could end up a frag or big damage that leads to a frag. So timing is going to be everything, as I always say when it comes to the peeker flea. But we're going to see how this one shakes out. Map number 2 between these two, Maxter, Effortless. Map number 1 was a nail biter. We'll see if map number 2 delivers as well.
I am a little bit concerned though, because just yesterday I think the Hang was playing Maxter on his stream on this map. Maxter was also playing Strog, and the Hang even went as far as to say, Maxter, start thinking with your head, not your peeker, because of how often that ability got him in trouble. So let's see if Maxter can keep it in his pants a bit more as we're moving into this series. Starting it off once more on Maxter's point of view.
Right out of the gate, flops his peeker out, looking for some damage here, trying to hunt down Effortless. In the red room, it doesn't look like he got any damage, but the tri-bolt on the follow-up, but Relentless is... Wow, Effortless just not letting Maxter breathe with that LG push, doing so much damage. Huge stack for Effortless, but the rockets are pretty good from Maxter, and he stays alive.
The peeker, it's risky. Maxter has to be hyper aware of that. Damage so far relatively similar, but this LG on the bounce pad on a target the size of Keel nonetheless. That is going to help Maxter out. Can he tie yet another frag into this one? He should be able to. Effortless is gonna drop down once more. And then you've also got the Hellfiles that players drop when they are killed by Strog. So Maxter, no problem getting his stack back up.
Really well played from Maxter here. Now he's got him cornered near the LG. Good damage here, and Effortless is just trapped. This is bad. Fighting his way out, LG on LG. Does he have the stack to do it? And he is going to survive. Maxter a little bit weak, and Mega's not going to be up for another 14 seconds, so instead he's going to deny the 50 shard, maybe grab these 225s. Heavy's technically up first as Effortless trying to stay alive, pepper some damage in, and Maxter, I feel like he wants to try and make sure that Effortless doesn't get anything, and there's big rockets here. Catches him out as he tries to make a mad dash.
The speed, the mobility is really starting to help Maxter right now. The only problem is that he's out of LG ammo. He can't really take those medium distance fights up until he refills it, which he does just now. Once again engaging up against Effortless. Speaker connecting slightly. Will it be enough? It won't be, as Effortless gets himself on the board. We're switching back to our resident Napoleon. Still in the very early stages of the game, no player getting any sort of domination of the map. Items perfectly tied as well.
Decent tri-bolt there. Make sure Effortless doesn't push aggressively. There's a drive-by rocket as well. Effortless trying to cut off, but he's going to eat so much rocket. 2 HP, Maxter. Shoddy for the frag, 4-1. Maxter heating up. Everything is going his way.
If Maxter can get a frag now, he might be able to secure both of the items. Mega will be going his way. Effortless, a bit late, trying to get the heavy. But again, Maxter, using that Peeker in such a risky position and takes a whole lot of unexpected rocket damage for his trouble. Good thing the damage output with the LG is so good, because otherwise Effortless would be steamrolling him, no dot.
Oh! Oh, the pineapple! How is this happening? Both players with big rockets. The pineapple won't land, but the shotgun will, as Maxter, weak, trying to get some damage off the spawn. He is going to claim the Mega. But Flea, this is fantastic. This is what you want to see on Corrupted Keep.
I mean, it's the reverse of what we saw on the previous map, right? Maxter really low and Effortless charging in, hoping to get the frag, knowing he's got the upper hand, but he just gets shot down by brilliant rockets. That's exactly what we saw previously on Exile too, only now it's a different player doing the fragging. Mega now going to spawn in just a few seconds, both players hungry for it, but I don't think Effortless really has the position or the weapons to get himself on there, sticking around far too long. You can't forget how easy of a target you are playing a large champion like Keel. That heavy machine gun against a player like Maxter, that is going to shred your stack.
LG on LG here. Effortless needs to be careful. There's the peeker. Maxter doing a great job getting so much damage. Actually knocks Effortless down into the Boneyard. Q25 is available with a shotgun up the jump pad. Is going to get him yet another frag. And Maxter doing such a good job of managing these fights, using the peeker at distance, just being a pest with it and maximizing damage.
And that's exactly how you can play Peeker on this map as well. No railgun, so no easy one-click removal of that ability. Instead, you have to use LG or heavy machine gun to take it down, and that takes time. Rocket jumping back up. Is this the right decision? It will be. Good read from Maxter, knowing exactly how low his opponent was, and a calculated push. Oh, 0.1 seconds before the Mega would have spawned. Effortless secures the frag, and it's now looking good when it comes to stack. But time is not in his favor. 5 minutes, but he's missing the speed, and if he has to chase down Strog on this map, he's in trouble.
The shotgun just doing so much damage for Effortless. I really like that push. He couldn't let Maxter get another Mega for free, but this is going to be so risky here. Can the rocket land? Oh no, just grazing it. And this might be a concession of the Mega. Effortless, he wants it. You could tell that he wants to try and do some damage. He wants to try and get in on it. But he's just so weak. Maxter up the jump pad. He makes it look easy. So Effortless has to reset off of that spawn. He's down 7, Flea. This one is getting a little bit out of reach, slowly but surely.
I think the most important thing right now for Effortless is to keep his head in the game, right? We know that Effortless is one of the more emotional players in the league, which can really pull him to great heights, but also can drop him down to great lows when things are not going his way. So he needs to just keep his focus, maintain his cool, knowing that yes, even though this map is lost, there's one more coming after this, and that is the one he'll have to focus on, because the way this is going, unless something changes quick in the next minute or so, this will be Maxter's win for sure.
Oh, the rocket pop almost hits him in the air. Good defensive rocket from Effortless to keep the stacks at least close, but he needs frags. And, you know, watching Effortless play, you don't really see a lot of pineapple usage. He's not getting a lot of mileage out of him, even if he is using them, so that's unfortunate for him, because then you're just a giant target. Yes, you have the stack, but as you mentioned before, huge target, gobbles up all that machine gun damage, and Effortless already weak now. Has to be very careful, and Maxter, surprise, right around the corner with the bow tie. Shotgun frag, 11-2. Maxter making it look easy on this one.
I mean, it's more or less the same thing as we saw previously in Garpy versus CNZ on this map too, right? For the one player just not making much, if any, use of his ability whatsoever, and the other just making plays left and right with the orb, now with the peeker. And Maxter is just absolutely running away with the scoreline, forces the spawn as well, but hesitates a bit, it feels like. Looks like he will still play a strategic game and prioritize the items, even though he's got a 10 frag lead. Effortless, he needs a miracle at this point.
Yeah, miracle indeed. And we saw earlier the peeker play. Again, Effortless didn't have the weaponry to deal with it, and he gets taken out. 16 HP, extremely weak as he's trying to grab some bubbles, but 12-2 with 2.5 minutes. If you're an Effortless fan, you believe. You believe in miracles, but it has to start very, very soon. This is a tiny map. You have the ability to force spawns, but it has to be perfect from here on out, Flea.
Maxter, I think, saw Effortless's foot dangling over the edge right there. Did get some information out of that peeker at least. And that's all he needs at this point in the game. He doesn't have to force any bad situation, doesn't have to chase damage. If he can just keep his distance and keep Effortless at bay, this will be a surefire victory from the man from Argentina. Nice little midi as well. Effortless just, yeah, he knew it was over and done. Hands thrown in the air. I think the will, the spirit is broken by now, and that we are guaranteed to have a 1-1 score after this one.
So second set in a row where the third map will be the decider here as maxter just tacking on frags. And again, this is kind of the part in the game where, as maxter, you don't want to give up anything. Don't let your opponent get any kind of momentum or confidence or anything. Just keep running up the score, get in your opponent's head, and that's exactly what maxter doing. And then Effortless just throws him in the lava and says, you know what, forget you. So good job from Effortless to hang in there, but this is kind of the downtime where you might get in your own head as a player, and you have to be very cognizant of that and not let your mentals get to you.
I think the movement has also played such an incredibly important role in this matchup. Peaker damage, no doubt, was severe, but just that overall speed and mobility that Effortless can't replicate at all by playing Keel. Maxter just floating around the map like a butterfly, but stinging like 1,000 bees, it seems. And Effortless unable to match or rival that pace. I mean, 40, just look at the damage. 2,000 points of damage for Maxter over his opponent. That's insane.
Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Yeah, it was the Maxter show on this one. I mean, he got off to an early start and never looked back. Again, I feel like Effortless has great rockets and LG, but the pineapples just weren't there. And the peeker, again, we saw just so many peeker plays from Maxter that did, if not frags, then damage. Lots and lots of damage again. 15 to tap, that adds up, especially against a Keel that, you think you have this giant stack, and then you look down at your health and you're like, what the hell just happened to it? Gets absolutely melted, but Maxter puts that one in the bag, ties it at 1, and again, we're off to map number 3 for the decider, Flea.
That always makes for the most interesting stories. It looks like Napoleon was able to brave the cold of Exile this time around, but Corrupted Keep proved to be a bridge through far rather, which means that it's all gonna come down to the final map, which will be Awoken. Map picks, if I'm not mistaken, are Effortless running the Doomslayer versus Maxter on the BJ40.
Yeah, that one should be a really good one. I mean, you think right off the bat you want to give the edge to Doomslayer, right? Dan hammered that in my head, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I feel like anything can happen again. Maxter is kind of a wild card in that he will play hyper aggressive and take plays and positions that may not be optimal, but his aim will bail him out, and then that might even tilt the opponent a little bit over the edge and say, how did that just happen to me? And see, there you go. Look at that, right on cue. Thank you, production. Perfect. It's just insane what Maxter can pull off, and we'll see if he comes up big, because again, his play style seems to be high risk, high reward. So if he doesn't land some of those shots, or he gets, a bad bounce, it could go Effortless's way, and then he could spiral out of control with the Doomslayer.
I was reading Effortless's lips right there, and I'm pretty sure that what he said was, whoa, what a great play. I respect you so much. That was deserved, as the gentleman that he is. So absolutely nothing going on right there. Looks like Effortless is restarting his game real quick, so we're taking a moment to set up the final map. 40. I think we both set 2-1 in favor of Maxter before the series started. Now that we're approaching the final map, do you still feel the same way?
I feel like he can do it. I feel like the showing on Exile was huge from Effortless, the ability to come back when he was down as well. So that gives me more confidence that it might go Effortless's way. I think it's a little more even in my head now, for sure. But I'm still going to lean towards Maxter just because of, again, he's not afraid to go all in suboptimal situations and somehow make it happen. And it's a little bit of that magic that he has, I guess. And that's kind of what you need at this level when usually all things are even. Just that little bit of that magic, Flea. So I'm going to stick with Maxter 2-1, but I think it's going to be close.
It is no doubt going to be a close one. Effortless, I hope that he can just keep his head into the game, right? Because that is the most important part. Effortless, a bit of an emotional player. Things are going his way, he soars. Things aren't working out, he tends to suffer quite a bit from it. So now the final map, I do feel like he's got the champion pick advantage, but as you said, the Maxter magic might be coming out clutch once more. So this, I think, is still up in the air.
Predictions slowly starting to roll in, though, and
Yeah.
it seems that the chat believes in Maxter. They believe in that Maxter magic. So we'll see what Effortless has to say about that. I'm sure he's hopped up on Crunchberries right now. He had to restart his game, but I heard the sound, Flea. We're getting into it. Map number 3. This is going to be the decider between these two. And again, it's a big one. 3 weeks left after this one to get to the stage finals. Have the seeding you want. Every map matters. It's going to be a banger, man. Second set of the day already to map number 3 for the decider. I love it. I love it, Flea.
I mean, I think Maxter at this point is pretty much entirely in the clear. He's safe, Effortless, looking good, but still not quite there yet. So I think that Effortless really wants to secure this map win because he knows that's $450, or rather another $150, I mean, added to that cash stat, added to those earnings that could mean the difference between relegation and just keeping his spot comfortably in the league. So this is a high stakes game. Both players very invested in getting a win.
For sure, and even though Max is not worried about relegation, he is just chomping at the bit to get in the top 4 so he can get a first-round bye, currently sitting in 5th. So again, this is huge for both players.
Absolutely, and there's many of those games today, right? If we just look at the remainders, we've already seen Garpy versus CNZ. And then we've also getting Sparty versus Cypher, right? Cypher hasn't played as many games as anyone else, but Sparty and Cypher basically tied right now. Neither entirely in the clear if they both end up losing everything that comes, while CNZ just absolutely goes on a tear for the remaining 2 weeks. Might still be dangerous for them, so we've got a lot of very important matchups today. Looks like we are going to be loading into the final map very shortly, so don't go anywhere. Things are getting set up now, and this one is going to be hype 40.
Yeah, as again the predictions rolling in, it still seems the chat is very much behind Maxter. Didn't flip-flop like it usually does. So Effortless against the ropes. We'll see what he can do here as we're going to load in again. Minor technical difficulties, chat. Just calm down and be patient with me. I keep kicking wires. I ruin everything, all right? That's what I do. That's why I'm here. That's why you all love me or hate me. I don't know. But again, Stage 2 finals creeping up on us, Flea. Creeping up on us. Every player wants to try and get the seeding they want. Maxter kind of fighting for that top 4 first-round bye. Effortless wants to ensure that he is nowhere near relegation, so this map is very important. Again, map 3, the decider of this series between these two. And we'll see. If Maxter can get off to a quick start, I feel like it may snowball. We'll see maybe some all-in plays, and it could be tilt world for Effortless. We'll see.
It does seem like Maxter is having some connection issues, getting into the game, sorting some things out with his VPN to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So we're still trying to figure that out, but it is indeed true, 40, that the Stage 2 finals are rapidly approaching and they are going to be key once more, right? There's a lot of big questions. Razy versus Rafa. We've seen more grand finals between these two players than anyone else. Are we going to get any more of it? Rafa, can he hang on to his belt, right? Rafa, without a doubt, the GOAT, the best player of all time. I don't think anyone is really disputing that, but he's lost 2 maps already this stage alone versus Zeneku and Maxter, who is going to be playing in a moment. So on the other hand, the Hang looking extremely powerful, and over on the EU side as well, Avec, a resurgence now, holding on to that #1 spot. So this could be a spicy finals in just a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy it's very telling, right? When you talk about Rafa and you're like, oh, he dropped 2 maps. He's washed. Like, it's over. Yeah, just a testament to how incredible he is. And we are going to see Rafa versus Dehang later today. You're going to have to wait. Sorry, gang. You're going to have to wait for that one. But that one is going to be a big one because it's going to settle the 1 seed on the Americas side.
It's always funny because I go through some notes before every single broadcast, and for most players you write down, okay, so they won this many, they lost this many against these players. When it comes to Rafa, you just write down how many maps has this man lost for the entirety of this stage. But now, looks like the Hang has done him one better, has only lost 1 map so far. It does look like we're finally going to be able to load into this decisive map, the end of the series, Maxter versus Effortless. This is the one that decides it all.
Worth the wait, as this is the decider. Maxter, Effortless, live right now on Awoken. We're going to start off on Maxter again. He's rocking that BJ, grabs the Mega and doubles back for that LG. Double LG can be brutal, and so can Tri-Bolt to the face. Doesn't connect with all 6, but 4 is just as good as Effortless takes damage early.
Can't underestimate the Tri-Bolt. But Effortless is using that rail Great effect
Oh,
as well.
no.
A little late on the switch. Oh, maxter just saw the opportunity and went for it. Effortless was still just caught with his pants down, rail in hand, and maxter took advantage of that situation. And once more, the shoddy from below, and now maxter securing both Mega and Heavy. Effortless spawning on the wrong side of the map, lacking weapons, no rockets to boot. Maxter wants to make something of this. Effortless, why are you there? Mega's already been taken ages ago. It's not up for another 15 seconds. No clue why Effortless stuck around instead of making a move on Railgun.
Ooh, that rocket actually does good damage. Maxter has to back away, but you could tell he didn't want to, Flea, as we have an absolute fist fight. A minute in, very early, Effortless with the dive in. Shotgun, is it going to be enough? Just hold mouse one, and he can't do it. Effortless somehow hugs the wall, stays alive. The shotgun just not enough.
These are some very unconventional plays. I think is about the least that we can say about that. Mega won't spawn just yet. Now Maxter is getting burned at putting himself on that position long before the item is up. Effortless gets the Mega spawn right beside him, and he's got the railgun. These are careless plays. There's a difference between just making the magic happen and taking a slight opportunity to run it all the way. Both players are just showing up way ahead of time for the item and just sticking it out.
This is a street fight, Flea. That's what this is. This is a street fight, and you know what? I'm going to allow it because I love it. Maxter going up the jump pad like a psycho. Excuse me, Effortless, and he gets the daisy that he wanted here, and he claims the Mega. So Maxter with the dual wield couldn't fend him off. 5-4 for Effortless. We're only 2 minutes and 17 seconds into this one. I love Quake.
I mean, if this continues, we might be looking at a frag record. Maxter getting himself the railgun, hasn't been able to make much use of the weapon so far. Now caught in the little cubby, misses the crucial rail, and Effortless will respond. The hot shot. Mega's about to spawn, yeah. Maxter popping the dual wield, that alone was enough to make Effortless go like, I think I'm good, I think I'm good. I've got the lead at long last. I don't want to throw it away on another brazen push on this item. Effortless sticking around for a very long time. I don't know about that one, for me. I think he should have left way sooner than that.
I just feel like in this one, nothing matters. They're like, this is the last map, let's fight. Show me what you got. So 5-6. Maxter getting that frag with a great rail here. Effortless trying to slow things down, grabbing this 50 shard. But yeah, pure street fight, I feel like. There happens to be items on the map, but this just seems to be a battle of pure will and mechanics. At least for the time being. It could swap at any moment, as it does appear to slow down ever so slightly here. Good rocket from Effortless there. He's going to try and drop and get the rail as well. Does so after going up the jump pad. Maxter trying to fight back with a rail of his own. Dancing all day here. It's Effortless working from down below. This is going to be rough. There's the jump over from Maxter, taking a lot of damage, riding the lightning. There's a great rail from Effortless, keeping the stacks even, but that rocket into the dual LG. Maxter, what are you doing?
Oh my god, I would have loved to see Effortless's point of view and his reaction for that one. That was absolutely gorgeous. Effortless secures the heavy, just doesn't have the stack to lift through the rail as well, so there's a bit of a silver lining that at least he managed to deny the major item to his opponent. Mega should be going in Maxter's favor. No! The double jump just gave Effortless just enough height to peek over the ledge and still land the shot. All tied up, 7-7 once more.
What a shot by Effortless. He hit him with the supplies. The double jump coming up big as he nails that rail. 7-7, and Maxter is in a bad way now. No armor, only really has LG. Does make it through the tally to get rockets, but again, the double jump coming up big for Effortless. 10 HP after that rail. The passive won't save you. Effortless goes through the tally, hits another rail. Effortless heating up now, 8-7. Maxter with the dual-wield machine guns grabs the Mega, but the rockets raining from Effortless into the shotgun gets another frag. Maxter has to try and stop the bleeding, but Effortless just dives into a rocket. Needs to be very careful. He's going to push in on this heavy, but the rocket damage is going to be strong into machine gun, and he won't be able to hit the rail. Maxter with a clean kill now.
And those clean kills are so important to set up control. We've seen very few of them. It's always with a lot of pain and suffering that brings one of these players a point. And it looks like Effortless is just relentlessly pummeling his opponent right now. Maxter, yes, that clean kill, but the stack he got is largely burned. Luckily for him, there was a Mega to pick up, and he's got positioning for the heavy as well. Don't think Effortless is going to be able to contest. Might just look for a rail instead. Not even that. Effortless contenting himself with that one frag lead, just picking up the weapons and the small armors he needs.
And the game finally slowing down here as Maxter popping dual wield just in case. He's on edge because of the whole game that we've seen up until this point being just a bloodbath, battle after battle. But we see things slow down. Now Maxter doesn't have dual wield. Effortless yet to pop Berserk, I believe, as that's just firmly in his pocket. He could pop the fists if he wants to. Good rail from around the corner, but the rocket damage from Effortless return, not so bad. Make that amazing as he hits that around the corner, bending it like Beckham. 10 HP. Maxter going for the rail, and that's exactly what Maxter does. Doesn't matter how much health he has. He's going for the shot. He hits it 9-9 and grabs the Mega. Unbelievable.
I mean, those were 4 rails in a row, 40. That makes a world of difference. Doesn't matter how stacked your opponent is, when you can continuously land rails like that, they will melt. And now Maxter, solid positioning. Heavy's about to spawn. 10 seconds before Mega. He should be able to get both, but that fumble on the movement, rocket jump, doesn't quite work out. Now he just has to brave it, going up the bounce pad. Effortless has definitely switched to a much more disciplined and passive game than what we saw in these opening minutes. I think that now we've entered the final stages of this map. 3 minutes left, it's all tied up. Effortless is a lot less willing to just throw himself at this opponent and wants to play more of a strategic matchup, using that ability, the movement he has, to the greatest advantage.
Maxter claiming yet another heavy. Stack is pretty big, and he knows exactly where Effortless is. Almost connects with the rail. Again, full map control for Maxter. Effortless on the back foot, just playing by that power-up area. Trying to play off sound cues, trying to make sure he doesn't get trapped. Maxter slowing down on the T-Con now. Somehow doesn't land damage on that rocket. Effortless actually hits a ton of damage and backs away without taking any. But the dual rockets isn't going to be enough. Effortless staying alive with the LG, pushing him away. There's another great rail from Maxter. Can he hit another one? Misses just barely. Effortless so weak right now, just holding on for dear life. Does grab some health, goes through the telly. There's the LG. Is it going to be enough? The rail misses, and Maxter's able to back away to the Mega.
How are both of these players still alive after these constant engagements? It always feels like it's going to go wrong. Then it doesn't for either of them. Heavy is about to spawn though. Maxter has got the high ground, but that opening rail that is going to help Effortless a lot. The item spawn, Effortless just blazing in. The LG is on point as well. And that is why these opening rails are so crucial for that one shot forced Maxter on the defensive, making him choose between just giving up the item and playing it safe or sticking around. And he stuck around, but Effortless's LG overpowered him in the end. And now we're entering the final minute, and this is difficult for Maxter because he is so outplayed when it comes to mobility. That double jump around the center area of the map gives Effortless so many escape routes that if he wants to plus back this till the end, he might very well be able to.
Yeah. Getting into the final minute here, and if you're a Maxter or Effortless fan, you are full clinched right now. It doesn't matter. 1 minute warning. There's the dual wield around the corner, and Effortless with a great rail. Just playing hyper defensive. That's all he needs to do. The rail from around the corner will miss. Maxter's going to dive in and ride the lightning and the trampoline, and that is just absolutely catastrophic.
That was a sick play. Absolutely sick play from Effortless right there. Baiting his opponent by going around the corner, and then the moment Maxter makes the jump, he LGs, shafts him back onto the bounce pad. But hang on, it's not over just yet. Maxter making up another frag. Final half a minute. Can he find his opponent? Can
the read from Maxter. The read from Maxter was incredible. There's the rockets. Effortless trying to survive with the LG. Does so much damage. Maxter has to back away, but he does hit the fadeaway rail, and that's going to be very important. Does need to stack back up. Can he just find him? Just an angle. 10 seconds left around the corner. Just missing out on the sight. Maxter can't rocket jump. He can't do anything. He's got 5 seconds. Effortless just needs to stay out of sight. 4 seconds, and it looks like he's going to run out the clock. And wow. That final read from Maxter to not go through the telly. Effortless was playing up against the wall, literally cornered himself, but comes back off the fresh spawn, takes a knee, and wins it, and that was incredible, Flea.
Effortless getting away by the skin of his teeth. There were a few angles that Maxter could have gotten, but unfortunately for him, he figured that his opponent was just around the corner at the teleporter, wasted a lot of time, a lot of rockets there, and then yeah, the damage he took, you said it yourself, he couldn't rocket jump. You knew he wanted to. He was in the perfect position to just RJ up to the railgun and then trap his opponent in the corner, but he wasn't able to do that. He didn't have even enough health to rocket jump up, and that allowed Effortless to just run away with that final 1 frag lead to secure himself the overall win. That will be a 2-1 victory for Effortless, but it was extremely hard fought.
Oh yeah, that was such a good set. I mean, the first 5-6 minutes, absolute bloodbath. Just punch for punch. That you could see frustrations, people playing with their emotions. It was just pure mechanics, and then the slowdown. Right? We saw, I think it was what it looks like 8-8 or something, and then the pure slowdown. We had 8 frags in 6 minutes, and then 3 maybe for the last 6, 4. It was just a really good transition, really good slowdown from both players. But Maxter unlucky. As Effortless is just 2 defense. This play right here, absolutely heartbreaking. Soul crushing, dives into the LG, and then hits the jump pad, and then Effortless just comes up big, 11-10, takes the victory. And I'm sure he's happy about it. I mean, that was really hard fought, as you said. Really, really close. Maxter, unfortunately, just ran out of a little bit of magic at the end.
I'm just very happy to see that Effortless maintained his cool in the final map, right? The way he lost map 2, I think a lot of people were worried that he was not able to reset in time and that he would just carry over that negative energy into the final map. But luckily for him, he absolutely rose above it, rose to the challenge as well, and secured himself a beautiful win. It was close, it was difficult, but I think that with this one, Effortless is probably in the clear as far as the relegation games go, and that his spot in the Quake Pro League will be secure.
Yeah, and I think Maxter's going to have to fight another day to try and break into the top 4, but hats off to Effortless. I'm sure he's going to keep the hat on because of the performance that he's had the last 2 weeks with the Get Up, but we're going to get up and take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Quake action. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.